fundraising for the film? How did that happen?
Oh my goodness, AJ. It was such a struggle. The thing about this film is like there was no shortage of interest. Everywhere I pitched it, people were like, "Oh, that sounds incredible. Great. I'm glad you're doing that." And I was like, "Cool." But no one would write me a check, you know? It was just really, there was just so much risk involved. It was like, "Let me know when they make it." And I was like, really? How am I going to get there? Like, it just, as a filmmaker, it was like, I've got it. I have the access. This is an extraordinary story. Once in a lifetime, they're going to make it. But it's just, you know, every production company, every distributor just wanted to know once they had made it. And so that was really, really difficult for me. So I invested a lot of my own money, which I don't recommend. But in this case, it went very well. I had to, because as I mentioned, I only had 3 months until they were there on the start line. So if I wanted this project to happen, I had to put in my own capital at first. Then I brought on some investors, which I hadn't done before. So this very much felt very entrepreneurial in spirit, starting a whole new LLC for the project, getting an investor agreement, you know, really understanding what it means to have investors and how to create a product that can get them their money back. So I brought on some investors, and then I applied for several grants throughout the whole life cycle, like 2 years it took to make the film. I was rejected from 10 grants before I got my first one, and it wasn't until we were in post-production. So it's just like, then everyone was interested. Once it was done, once they had made it, it was like, "Oh, hey, Sarah, I saw that they made it." And I was like, just like,
now you gotta pay up.
They did, yeah. And then you've made it that far. You're like, do I really need you? They made it across the entire ocean. Like, so by the time I was in post, I felt really great. I mean, I just clawed tooth and nail to get this project across the proverbial and actual finish line. So I finally got some grants when I was in post-production, one of which was from the Tribeca Film Institute, which sadly I think has been defunded due to the pandemic, but they have a grant called the All Access Grant. It's $10,000, which of course helps, but beyond that, they brought me to the festival to pitch the film as part of like a distribution market. And that was a game changer for me. I pitched the film 30 times in 2 days to distributors and financiers and grant organizations, sales agents, film festival programmers. And that ultimately led to a little bit more funding, but more importantly, a sales agent. And that company helped me sell the film to Netflix. So it was like a huge dream come true. It had been such a long, difficult road. The film was 100% done when we pitched it to Netflix, and they licensed it for 3 years worldwide. I'll never forget that email from my sales agent. I was in New Zealand actually at the time, and it was like, I mean, if you can imagine, so just to walk you through, so I'm 2 years in, I'm like 50 grand of my own money in this film that over 2 years, I mean, it was just like I was all in. And I had no idea if anybody would even want to watch this film. Do people care about rowing for 90 minutes? I don't know. Have I made complete trash or like something amazing? You just have no idea when no one's seen it. I applied to Sundance, got rejected from Sundance. Of course, it's very hard to get into Sundance. I have no celebrity executive producer. I've got no festival premiere, nothing. And my sales agent sent the film to Netflix. This was December, and I'm thinking to myself, it's December. Like, everyone's like packing it in for the year. We're not going to hear back. Like, I just was very like, I'm going to go on this vacation that I've been waiting for. I'm going to unplug, and we'll see what happens. And I was just sort of broken, you know, just like at the end of making a film, you're just very broken. And I remember I turned on my phone after it had been off for a long time that day, and I see this email saying, "We've got an offer from Netflix." And I just like wept. I mean, it was just it was exactly what I wanted for the film. Like, Netflix was my number one choice. And so they ended up licensing the film for 3 years worldwide. So it was in 190 countries, subtitled in 25 languages. I was able to pay my investors back, pay myself back, finally pay myself a salary. I hadn't made a penny in 2 years working on this film. And most importantly, you know, I was going to be able to share this extraordinary story with the world, which was the whole point, you know, so that anybody could be inspired by their journey. So that was really the most exciting part. And so May 1st, 2017, we premiered on Netflix, and it was on for 3 years. It was a licensing deal. So the film is also now on iTunes. I think it might have been pulled from Amazon, actually, because Amazon just did this whole purge of documentaries, unfortunately. But it is available on iTunes, and it's just been such a wild ride. I mean, it's just been so amazing to like they believed so deeply in their ability to take this journey. So I believed in them, and then I believed in myself because they believed in me. Like, it was just this beautiful exchange. And then to have this outcome was just like the best possible confirmation that it was the right decision to jump in and to tell this story. So yeah, it was a very happy ending.